friends, welcome back to Table Full of Joy. If you're new around here, I'm Cheryl. So excited you guys decided to join me today. We are making a classic recipe from my childhood. It just was one of those days. I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I had to look, I was like, what do I have so I don't have to go to the store? So guess what we're making? Come on in the kitchen and find out. Tater tots, ground beef, veggies, soup mix, cheese, tater tot casserole. That's what's on the menu tonight. And I'm excited because it's something my grandmother used to make for me when I was a kid. And so that's what we're gonna have. My husband has been gone all day helping his brother. And so he called, he's gonna be late, but this is something I can get in the oven. It can sit there, it can just stay warm till he gets home. It'll be a nice hot dinner after he's been out in the cold all day. So let's get cooking. So we have a pound of ground beef right here in our pan. We're just gonna give this a little bit of a mash with our meat masher. We're just gonna let that cook. While that's cooking, we're gonna get some cheese grated up. We are just going, like I said, with whatever I had in here because I didn't want to go to the store. So I have some frozen green beans. I have just a little bit of corn left from something else. And so we're just gonna make it work. That's the fun thing about tater tot casserole is you can make tater tot casserole out of anything, just about. Any kind of veggies you have left over, throw them in there. Whatever cheese you have, throw it in there. Whether you have cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of mushroom, cream of cheese, or cheddar cheese, any of those things, you can make tater tot casserole with any of that. So we're gonna go ahead and grate up some cheddar. We're gonna put some cheddar in it. We're gonna put some cheddar on top of it, and then we're gonna put our tater tots on top. I like to have lots and lots of cheese in my tater tot casserole. The other thing that I put in, I don't know if everybody does this, but I put sour cream in it. I love the combination of that little bit of tartness that you get from sour cream. That is a little secret of mine that I put in it. I'm sure I'm probably not the only one, but at least in our house, that's the way we make tater tot casserole, is with a little bit of sour cream with our soup. And I love that this recipe doesn't take a whole lot of A, ingredients, or B, dishes, because I don't want to have to do a whole bunch of dishes. This kind of dinner is something that you make when you just need something really super quick, really super fast. And I mix everything right in my casserole dish. So while my meat's cooking, I'm going to get our soup dealt with. We've got some cheese. I'm going to grab some sour cream. So we're going to put our sour cream in our casserole dish first so that we can use the same spatula to scrape out our soup can. I don't want to cross-contaminate my sour cream container by having soup on it. So that's why we're going to do our sour cream first, and then we can do our soup mix. So I'm going to put in about, I'm going to say probably a half a cup, roughly. I'm just eyeballing it, not really any specific measurement, but that should be good. Let's check our meat one more time. We're going to go ahead and get our oven preheating too while we're at it. We're going to go to 350. We've got our soup right here. I'm going to go ahead and get all of our soup into our casserole dish. All right, looks like we got all of our soup out. We're gonna mix our sour cream and our soup together. All right, so we have our soup and our sour cream in our casserole dish. Let's go ahead and give this a quick little stir. Get these combined. We're gonna add some of our cheese in here. Let's stir that around. Like I said, this goes together so quick. So fast. It's going to be a hearty dinner. We're going to add what leftover corn we had. We're going to add part of our bag of green beans. We don't need all of them. So I can get this open. All right, so we're gonna put in some frozen green beans. All right, let's go ahead and give this a stir. The only thing we have left to put in here is our ground beef as soon as it's done. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add this. I have just a little bit of minced onion, dehydrated minced onion, so we're going to go ahead and put that in for a little extra flavor. We're just going to get all of this stirred around. As soon as our meat is done, we're going to add our ground beef to it, and then we're going to put our tater tots on it, and like that fast. We have something that is hearty, comforting. I've seen lots and lots and lots of ways to make green bean casserole or tater tot casserole before. This is just the way I do it. Let's give our meat a good mash. And just like that, our ground beef is done. Let's grab a spoon so we can spoon our ground beef into our casserole dish. Put our green beans back in the freezer so they don't thaw. All right, I'm gonna make myself a little bit of room here. We are gonna do a little more cheese in a minute, but not yet. We're gonna put that right there. We're gonna grab our pan here that has our ground beef. We wanna try to leave as much of this fat as we possibly can. We don't want that in our casserole. I try to buy the leanest ground beef that I can, but you're always going to have a little bit of fat in your pan. So we need to just be careful that we're not getting all of that grease in here. This is just one of those comforting casseroles that was a classic when I was growing up. It was a favorite. My grandmother used to make it. And I loved it when she would make tater tot casserole for me, because it was a way she got me to eat vegetables that I wouldn't ordinarily eat, because she could put them in tater tot casserole and I would eat them every time because they were coated in cream of chicken soup and sour cream and cheese and all of the tater tots. So here's a question for you with tater tot casserole. Are you team just throw them on top? Or are you team they have to be arranged? I am team they have to be arranged. I like to lay them out in neat little rows. It's just me. To me, I think it looks better. And to me, presentation is everything. I want my food to be beautiful. I want it to have a beautiful presentation when people go to eat it. I want it to look nice when it comes out of the oven. So I have always liked to put the tater tots right on top of it and let it really crisp up. I find I don't like mushy potatoes, and I find that if the tater tots get mixed into the tater tot casserole, then you end up with not crispy potatoes. And I want crispy tater tots on top of my tater tot casserole. That's what I want. I want that crunch. So that is my reasoning behind putting them on top and making them look pretty, doing a really nice presentation. So we're just gonna finish getting this all mixed in here. We're gonna put a little more cheese right on top of this mixture. Let's go ahead and flatten this out. We've got it all mixed in here as well as we can get it mixed. Let's go ahead and flatten our stuff out. Get our mixture nice and even. Let's go ahead and scrape off our spatula. We don't want to waste any of this beautiful mixture. And I think I will do just grate a little more cheese, because I want cheese on this. That's the other part of tater tot casserole is you gotta have the cheese. So we're gonna get this a little bit more grated here. I really need to invest in another grater, something that does it for me. I used to have one, I don't anymore. Hubby's been talking about buying me the grater attachment for my KitchenAid. I already have the sausage attachment, I have the pasta attachment, but I don't have the shredder. And I would love to have the shredder. So I think that will be the next purchase for us, will be that. Let's see, I think I'm gonna go just a little bit more. All right, that should be good. And then comes the fun part. I love putting the tater tots on. That was always my favorite part when my grandmother would make tater tot casserole. I loved to come in the kitchen and put the tater tots on for her. It was kind of my artwork for dinner. And I loved just being able to line them all up and make them look pretty. And all right, we need to grab our scissors. We're just gonna go ahead and start putting our tater tots on here. Like I said, I like to have them look nice and pretty. We're just gonna kind of push them. We're gonna nestle them down in the casserole dish. I want them to really be down in it. And this is what I think makes this look so, so pretty, is when you take a couple minutes and you put these on top of the casserole, get them nice and snuggled in there instead of just tossing them on top. What is a classic recipe from your childhood that you loved eating when you were a kid? Leave that in the comments for me, would you? I would love to hear what everybody's. I have a couple, and this is one of them. There's a couple more that I'm going to be doing for you guys here soon. I have them on the upcoming meal plan, so you guys will be seeing those, and I'll be sharing with you that those are some of my favorite childhood recipes. I grew up in 70s and 80s. That's when my childhood was, and I was the only girl with 3 older brothers, so we had a full house, 4 kids. My dad was the only one that worked, and so groceries were expensive. I mean, they're expensive now, but you try being a single, single income household back in the 70s and 80s, and trying to support a pretty good sized family, which, for us to have 4 kids in our family was a pretty decent size family. And so that was always a challenge for my dad, but he did it. He made it work. And, we always had tasty food. We never went hungry. All of us kids were very well fed. All right, we got all of our potatoes on here. I'm gonna give my hands a quick rinse. All right, the other thing that I do to my tater tot casserole is I like to give it a little bit of a spray. I see one spot right here that needs a potato. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna give it a little spray. I'm gonna use avocado oil. So we're just gonna spray this. This is another thing that gives the potatoes a nice crispy top on them. And we're gonna put just a little bit of salt on top of these. We wanna make sure that every part of our tater tot casserole has good flavor. So we're gonna just lightly salt our tater tots. We're using our Redmond's Real Salt, which has become my absolute favorite salt ever. This is our beautiful tater tot casserole. We're gonna put this in the oven. We're gonna cover it with foil because I wanna make sure that the potatoes aren't getting burned before everything has a chance to heat. So we're gonna put just a little bit, and we're not gonna cover it tight. we're gonna make kind of a tint with our foil. Cover it loose. That's gonna go in the oven 350 for about 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. And then it will be ready for me to take the foil off of it. Once I take the foil off, we're gonna let it sit in the oven for probably another 5 minutes maybe, so we can get the real nice crispy top with our tater tots, and we'll be ready to eat. All right, so our tater tot casserole is done. Let me get a hold of this pan so I can show you what this looks like. This turned out amazing. Looks just like it did when I was a kid. So tasty. Let's give it a bite. Let's give it a taste. We'll just go right in here in the corner. Let's get one of these tater tots. Some of our filling. You can see what that looks like. All of your veggies, your meat, your cheese. That says childhood to me. That little, oh my gosh, that's so good. All right, we're gonna eat here in a minute. So now that I had a taste of that, I'm hungry. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in my kitchen as we made another classic dish from my childhood. Super tasty, excited to eat that. Hope you guys will try this. If you've tried tater tot casserole, what's your favorite way of making it? Let me know in the comments. Or if you have a classic recipe from your childhood that you absolutely love and you still make it today, let me know that in the comments too. I'm excited to hear some of your comments about these things. I do have quite a few nostalgic recipes that were from my childhood, and I'm excited to share some of these with you guys as we go forward. But just the fact that you guys would spend time with me in my kitchen means a lot to me. It's such a blessing to me. I want to thank you guys so much for doing that, for your continued love and support to this channel, and what God's doing in this channel has just been amazing. So I want to thank you guys so much for that. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on anything I upload. I try to upload almost every day, if not every other day. And most importantly, give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button right there, because that is what pushes the videos out there so other people see them. I want people to see this. I want you guys to let people see this. So make sure that you hit that like button for me. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me as we made a delicious classic recipe from my childhood. And I hope you guys have a great day. God bless.